In this video, we're going to talk about the top 10 foods to avoid for acne. So before starting this video, please like the video and subscribe to this channel for our future updates. Do you find that every time you eat a pizza or a burger, a new zit will appear on your face? Or have you been limiting your consumption of fried food since you're fully aware that it may result in a zit the following morning? If you have acne and your response to any of these questions is yes, you should probably avoid specific foods in order to keep it at bay. We're going to go through the top 10 foods that should be avoided to prevent acne. Number 10. Sugar. Sugars, which can be consumed in our homes as refined white sugar or in other forms such as sodas, Tetra Pak juices, honey, etc., are high in refined carbs. Sugars come in a variety of forms. These are quickly absorbed into the bloodstream, which leads to an increase in sugar levels. The rise in insulin levels causes the excess sugar in your bloodstream to be pushed into your cells, which in turn results in acne. Persons who often drink added sugars had a risk of acne that was 30% higher than the average, while people who regularly consume baked goods had a risk that was 20% higher than average. It's possible that the effects refined carbs have on blood sugar and insulin levels are to blame for this elevated risk. Refined carbs cause a rapid rise in blood sugar because they're taken into the bloodstream and circulatory system very quickly. When there's an increase in the amount of sugar in the blood, the body responds by producing more insulin, which helps move the sugar from the bloodstream into the cells of the body. However, those who suffer from acne should try to keep their insulin levels as low as possible. Insulin is responsible for the increased activity of androgen hormones, as well as the elevation of insulin-like growth factor 1, IGF-1. This speeds up the growth of skin cells, which in turn boosts the production of sebum, which in turn contributes to the development of acne. On the other hand, eating a diet that's low in glycemic index, which does not significantly raise either blood sugar or insulin levels, is associated with a less severe case of acne. Number 9. Dairy products. According to the findings of a study that was carried out on adolescents, drinking skim or low-fat milk was associated with an increase in acne. On the other hand, the connection between milk and acne is not yet entirely understood. If you notice an increase in acne after drinking milk, it's best to avoid dairy products. The problem is that many dairy foods, such as yogurt, have a tendency to have a high sugar content. Therefore, if you cut out dairy, it will be difficult to determine with absolute certainty whether a change in appearance of your skin is due to the elimination of dairy or a reduction in your consumption of sugar. Having said that, dairy products have an additional potential issue that could be linked to breakouts, and that is the presence of added hormones. There is a possibility that the hormones given to cows are steroid analogs, which can cause acne in humans. Therefore, if you have a tendency to get more acne than you would like, it may be beneficial for you to reduce the amount of dairy you consume, or at the very least select dairy products that have a lower amount of sugar and originate from cows that have not been given hormones. It's important to keep in mind that if you eliminate dairy from your diet, you'll also remove a source of calcium and vitamin D from your diet. Because of this, it's important to look for other ways to make up the difference. Number 8. Fast food. There's a significant correlation between eating a diet typical of the Western world that's high in calories, fat, and refined carbs and developing acne. Mainstays of a conventional Western diet, fast food products such as burgers, nuggets, hot dogs, French fries, drinks, and milkshakes have been shown to be associated with an increased incidence of acne. It's common for acne to appear on the face of adolescents who eat a lot of fast food, especially greasy foods like burgers and fries. On the other hand, there's no clear connection between the consumption of fast food and acne-causing ingredients. Number 7. Chocolate. In a study that was carried out on guys, it was discovered that individuals who consumed cocoa that was unsweetened and included 100% cocoa did indeed produce a considerable increase in acne. Eating chocolate, which typically contains milk, which is a type of dairy product, and sugar, causes the immune system to respond more strongly to bacteria that causes acne. Number 6. Greasy food. The amount of fat in the flesh of fried dishes and other goods, such as bacon and burgers, that contain a lot of grease is increased. An eruption of acne may result from the excessive amount of oil and fat. Number 5. Whey protein powder. Proteins and amino acids like leucine and glutathione can be found in abundance in whey protein, which is a rich source of these nutrients. The majority of the time, male athletes and bodybuilders are the ones who eat this powder. Whey protein consumption, on the other hand, accelerates the growth and multiplication of skin cells and also raises insulin levels. both of which have been linked to an increased risk of acne. This is a correlation between the consumption of whey protein by bodybuilders and an increase in acne breakouts. Whey protein triggers an increase in the amount of the hormone insulin-like growth factor 1, which is produced by the body, which in turn stimulates the creation of sebum. Your sebaceous glands create a substance that is similar to wax called sebum, which is one of the factors that contributes to oily skin. And skin that is oily, it's frequently associated with outbreaks of acne. The good news is that there are plenty of other options available to you if you're seeking for other ways to increase the amount of protein you're taking in. When you're preparing your protein beverages, you experiment with vegan protein powders that are derived from plants. Additionally, eating lean cuts of meat, egg, and fish that's high in fat are all excellent ways to boost your consumption. Number 4. Refined grains. Bread, pasta, cereal, and rice noodles are the typical foods that contain refined grains, often known as refined white flour. These foods have a high glycemic index, which means they can cause an increase in one's blood sugar levels. Insulin boosts the activity of the androgen hormone, which in turn causes faster cell development and increased production of sebum, both of which contribute to acne. Number 3. Foods rich in omega-6 fats. Because omega-6 fats, which are inflammatory by their very nature, are included in a Western-style diet with cornflakes, soybean oil, and other foods like these, the risk of acne is known to be increased. If you already have acne-prone skin, eating these foods could make your condition even worse and make it more difficult to treat. Number 2. Lean meat and animal protein. In addition to appearing on the cheeks, some people's zits are also located on the jawline and on the neck. These zits can be rather large and have a dark red color. These conditions are the result of eating an excessive amount of meat, particularly chicken and mutton. The connection between eating red meat and getting these pimples is not well understood. Number 1. Coffee. It's possible that the beverage you drink first thing in the morning is on the list of items you should steer clear of if you have acne-prone skin. Even though coffee might not actually be the cause of your acne, you might discover that cutting back on your coffee consumption has a positive effect on your complexion if you do it regularly. Consuming large amounts of caffeine is related with stress, and it's well known that stress can wreak havoc on your skin. And while there is some evidence that stress does not directly cause acne, it can make acne that already exists worse. Even though it is typically considered acceptable to consume up to 5 cups of coffee in a single day, the caffeine in coffee may not be good for your skin, mind, or body. In addition, you ought to think about taking a closer look at the components that go into your regular brew. As was just discussed, sugar and milk are 2 of the most common foods that should be avoided in order to maintain clear skin. Because of this, we recommend cutting back or getting rid of sugar altogether and reevaluating the other ingredients that you include in your coffee. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.